Good morning, girls. Welcome to your English literature class. Today, we are going to read this lesson, that is Maui's Kite. In the previous video, I explained you the summary of this lesson. Children, open your English literature books to page number 41. Let's begin with the reading. Long ago in Hawaii, people told stories to explain the wonders of nature. This story is about Maui, who wanted to tame the winds. So long ago in Hawaii, people used to tell stories about the wonders of nature. And this story, that is Maui's Kite, is one of the wonders of nature. Maui, he wanted to tame the winds. Tame the winds means he wanted to control the winds. Okay. One morning, Maui decided that he had to build a kite. And what a kite he built! His mother gave him her largest, strongest piece of cloth. For the cross pieces, he used sticks of bamboo and he cut branches from the alona shrub to make a strong rope. Children, cross pieces means sticks that are crossed together to form the frame of the kite. I'm sure you all have seen a kite. Alona shrub was a Hawaiian plant known for its strong bark. Okay, and what is the meaning of shrub? That I have already told you in the previous video. So, one morning in Hawaii, a boy named Maui, he decided to build a kite. Maui built a beautiful kite with the largest and strongest piece of cloth given by his mother. He used sticks of bamboo for the cross pieces and branches of alona shrub to make a strong rope. Maui's kite was a work of art. He told himself, I must get a special wind to fly my kite. I'll go to the keeper of the winds. She will let me have the perfect wind to make my kite fly really high. So then Maui's kite, it was a work of art, which means very, very beautiful. And he wanted to fly his kite really high, but for that what he needed? Proper wind. So he decided to go to the keeper of the winds for the perfect wind to fly his kite. His friends happily gathered around to help him carry his kite to the keeper of the winds. As the group paraded through the village, everybody left their work and came to watch. When the group finally approached the cave of the winds, they could see the keeper of the winds sitting by the entrance. "O keeper of the winds," cried Maui, "please bring Ipuiki, the small god that holds the gentle breeze, and let us fly our kite." The keeper was a wise old woman. She knew that the gentle winds of Ipuiki would play kindly with the boy. So she went into her cave and returned carrying a small gourd and singing her song. Children, paraded means walked in a large group in an orderly fashion to celebrate. Approached means came near or came close. Gourd means a fleshy vegetable with a thick skin. Okay. So then Maui's friends, they helped him to carry the kite to the keeper of winds, and while they were on their way walking in a group, the others in the village left their work and started watching them. And when they reached the cave of the winds, they could see the keeper of winds sitting by the entrance. Maui cried, "O keeper of the winds, please bring Ipuiki, the small god that holds the gentle breeze, and let us fly our kite." As I have already told you in the summary, that Ipuiki was the name of the gentle breeze, and small god means vegetable with a hard skin. So then the keeper of the winds, as she was a wise old woman, so she knew that the gentle winds of Ipuiki, they would kindly play with the boy, and they wouldn't harm the boy. So she went into her cave and returned carrying a small god and singing her song. O wind, soft wind of Hilo, wind from the god of everlasting winds, come from Ipuiki, O wind, soft wind of Hilo, come gently, come mildly. The lid of the gourd began to stir, and the keeper carefully opened it. Slowly, the soft wind of Hilo drifted out and tugged at the kite. Maui let out some cord, and he and his friends cheered as the kite soared like a great bird over the sea. The keeper stood silently and looked on with a smile. After a while, she said, "That's enough for today. The winds should not be taken for granted. They will respect you if you respect them." After a few moments of silence, Maui nodded and said, "Yes, O keeper of the winds, call your winds back to you." The woman now removed the lid from Ipuiki. As the winds returned, the kite slowly dropped. So then, the keeper of the winds, she called the winds by singing, okay, and the winds, they came and the kite flew with it, and Maui and his friends were very happy. They cheered "Yay!" as they saw the kite soaring high up in the sky like a great bird. The keeper stood silently and looked on with a smile. As we know, the keeper was a gentle old lady, so she did not say anything, okay? She was very happy that Maui was enjoying. After a while, she requested Maui that it's enough for today. The winds should not be taken for granted. They will respect you only if you respect them. Then Maui, he agreed as a good boy. He said okay to the keeper of winds, and he said that you can call the winds back. What was the name of the wind? Yes, Ipuiki. So as the winds returned to their gourd from where they had come out, the kite slowly dropped, and there was no winds to help it fly. Maui reeled in the line, caught the kite, and went back home with his friends while the keeper closed the lid. But Maui was not content. He had seen how high his kite had gone, and he now wondered just how much higher it could fly. The next day, Maui and his friends took the great kite and went back to the cave of the winds. "O keeper of the winds, bring out Ipu Nui, god of the 4 great winds," cried out Maui. "The winds of Ipuiki were enough, Maui," she replied. "Don't you remember what I said to you? You must respect the winds, especially the 4 great winds." "But I am strong as the 4 great winds," said Maui, and he began to chant. "O 4 great winds, mighty as the gods, wind from the god of everlasting winds, Come from Ipunui, strong winds, churning winds, hasten and come to me. So then what happened? Maui, he was not content, means he was not satisfied with the fun he had. The next day Maui and his friends again took the great kite and went back to the cave of the winds, and they were not at all ready to go back. And they said to the keeper of the winds, "Bring out Ipunui, god of the four great winds." So this time Maui did not ask for the gentle winds, but what winds he asked for? Ipunui, that were the strong winds. The keeper of the winds replied, "Maui, Ipuiki were enough. Don't you remember what I said yesterday? You must respect the winds and especially the four great winds." But it was useless. Maui did not listen, and he himself chanted and called for the winds. He did not listen at all. He was very stubborn, and in his pride he kept chanting, he kept singing that song, "Oh, four great winds, mighty as the gods, wind from the god of everlasting winds. Come from Ipunui, strong winds, churning winds, hasten and come to me." He kept chanting this song. And what happened? He kept calling for the churning winds, means those winds that go round and round. So, in that god were the four great winds, that is winds from the north, south, east and west. After Maui chanting, the north and east wind had already come out, but the west and south wind were to come out. They were still left to come out. From inside the cave came a mighty roar. The keeper ran towards the entrance, but she was too late. The north wind and east wind pushed herself over and snatched the kite from the hands of Maui's friends. Maui's kite was swept far out over the sea. He laughed with delight when he saw how far his kite had gone, and at the keeper who was struggling vainly to put the lid back on Ipunui. Then the west wind and south wind howled out of the god and knocked it from the woman's hands. The kite went as high as the cord was long, and then it tugged fiercely at the cord. The cord began to hum in the wind, and the kite disappeared into the darkening clouds. Thinking that he was in control, Maui called out, "O winds, mighty as the gods, return to Ipunui." But of course the winds were beyond his control. They raged stronger and stronger until the cord attached to the kite snapped with a mighty crack. Maui almost fell backwards. The kite sailed away over the mountain, never to be seen again. And then what happened? The other winds, that is the north, that is the west and south wind, they came out and they knocked the keeper of the wind. And while this all was happening, Maui and his friends, they laughed at the keeper of the wind because she was struggling vainly. Struggling vainly means she was trying hard that she should put the winds back into the lid, but that was not happening. Okay, and the winds, they just forcefully were blowing. The winds were very strong. Maui thought he could control the winds, but he couldn't. You cannot control the wind, and the winds were beyond his control. Then the wind blew the kite away, and the kite was never seen again. The winds continued to rage over the entire island. A heavy rain sent people scurrying in all directions. The winds had proved who was stronger. At last the keeper of the winds pounced on Ipunui and took it back to the cave. She worked all through the night, gently coaxing the winds back into the gourd. Coaxing means running in quick, short steps. She was trying to put them back inside fast. Finally, the storm ended. People started calling Maui, he who brought the great storm. His friends looked the other way when Maui came to visit. Finding himself alone with nothing to do, Maui built another kite. It was smaller than the first. He flew it near his home when there was no one else about. He would tie the kite to a rock and study its movements in the sky. Soon he could tell when the weather would be fine or stormy. One day he noticed some men going off to the fields. "It will rain today," called out Maui. "Tomorrow will be a better day to work in the fields." So now let's see the explanation. Then what happened? The winds came over the island and brought heavy rainfall, and people started running in all directions, and the winds proved that they were stronger. Then at last the keeper of the winds pounced on Ipunui and took it back into the gourd and worked all night to calm the winds. Finally the storm ended. Now people, they started disliking Maui because he had brought the great storm. Even his friends turned their heads when he visited them. Then Maui one day built another small kite when he had nothing to do. He spent his time studying about the winds. He tied the kite to a rock to understand the flow of the wind. And soon Maui learned to predict the weather, whether it was good or stormy. One day he noticed a few men going off to the field. He told them, "It will rain today, but tomorrow will be better to work." The men just scowled at him, but soon it did begin to rain, and the men came running back to the village, looking in amazement at Maui. Another day, Maui warned a group of women that their clothes would be blown away from the drying place, because his kite told him that there would be a storm that day. Later, they were out in their yards, chasing their clothes which were blowing about in the storm. In time, the village people began to depend on Maui and his kite. He taught them how to tell from the dancing movements of the kite which days would be good for planting or fishing or drying cloth. People now started calling him teacher of the weather. Even the keeper of the winds no longer shunned him, and Maui had learned his lesson. Never again did he call for the winds of Ipuiki or Ipunui. Scowl means they frowned at him, okay? They were upset, no? They made big eyes looking at him. So then what happened? But no one listened. Those men, they did not listen to him, and they frowned at him. They made faces at him. And soon it began to rain. The men, they came back running, looking at Maui in amazement. That means they were shocked that what happened? How Maui could predict the weather? How did he know that it is going to rain? Another day, again he told a group of women that their clothes would be blown due to the strong winds. But they did not listen to, and later actually that happened. Then sooner the whole village they began to depend upon Maui and his kite. Even his friends they started talking to him, and in fact they started learning from him about the wind. Everyone before doing any work they would ask Maui that how would the weather be today. Maui started even teaching everyone about the dancing movements of the kite. People started calling him the teacher of the wind. Even the keeper of the winds, she also started liking Maui again. And Maui, after all this, he learned a lesson that never to call Ipu Iki or Ipu Nui. So girls, the moral of the story is we should respect nature and it will respect us. Girls, please read this lesson nicely, underline the hard words and learn them. Thank you and God bless.